today we are here in the beautiful Puisto Stadium, and we want to talk about the crazy season of Flamingo. Crazy, isn't it? Huh?
Yeah, crazy indeed.
Yeah, well, let's maybe go back and start from the promotion of last year, since, from Vitonen to Vitonen and the preparation all the way to this moment here. A little recap maybe.
When we got the news that we will be promoting to Division 5, it motivated us when we went into the off-season training, and we knew that it will not be business as usual, because now we will be playing in Division 5, which will require more effort than in Division 6.
Something that maybe many people doesn't know, or maybe they have noticed, is that the team that played last year is maybe 80% different from the team that started and played the Suomen Cup all the way to the last game. Of course, stability will bring that team chemistry, and players know each other, will help a lot in terms of achieving better results together. If we go back, for example, to the way we started the season, the Suomen Cup, the first Suomen Cup game against Hub.
The memory we had about them was in the playoffs, where they won us through penalty. So maybe that was more like what motivated them and said, okay, this time around, this is
I have to get our revenge.
Yeah, this is like a second leg of the Suomen Cup for us. I mean, of the playoff rather. So yeah, we went into that game. We were very prepared. We kind of like knew what we wanted, that we have to win that game. That's like the frame of mind going into that game.
And the result, nobody expected that we're gonna win that way. We were very excited about that result. It was 7-1. We were celebrating here in Puisto, and another motive is that we knew that we're gonna face a Division 3 team, which was something we were very excited about. Kulso from the East region, they were coming here.
Yeah, I think before the Kulso, we knew we were going to play a higher division team. You see some really surprising results where some maybe lower division team beat some premiership teams. We had that hope. It gave us that kind of like a rest of mind that, okay, you know what, it's not the end of the world. Maybe we can, pull off some surprise. Yeah. So.
Well, eventually the game ended in an 8-0. For some people, it was not a surprise. Some of our players maybe expected that we're gonna win, and they were very convinced that we're gonna win that game. But at some point, we have to face the reality of our level. Our players reacted in a different way. Some players, this has encouraged them. They said, like, okay, if I'm in a Division 3, this is the level I want to be. And some other people, they got, I would say, a reality check. They had some doubt, and it took them a while before they get back to the trainings and got over that loss. To give you maybe an idea, is that the players that played the Suomen Cup, the Suomen Cup games, 70 or 60% of them left. We started the season with completely new sets of players that didn't go to the cold pre-season with us.
So many of our players, in my opinion, I think, were not experienced to that level to understand that this team is in a higher division than you. They have more quality than you. They train more than you, and as a result, they will have all these qualities than you. So they have that mindset that, we could beat anyone. Even bring a premiership team, a Belfast Liga team, we can beat them.
The majority of the players weren't in football academies. If we see how Flamingo is built, is mostly foreigners that comes from different part of the world, students, refugees, different backgrounds, and we all came in together. What we have all in common is that we haven't had an academic background. We learned football in the streets.
When their team loses a game, in their head they just feel like my team is bad, so they don't, because they are not aware that these guys are way beyond you in terms of level. They see every
Experience.
team as on equal level. So when they lose a game, they just go, you know what, I'm going to put this team is bad. So yeah, this is one of the reasons. I think this is the main factor why we lost many players before we started our season. So
when we came here to Finland, we saw that the country have some really good infrastructure, and we wanted the players to have an opportunity to have a career in football, even though it's amateur, but it's still a career, and you will be registered in FIFA as a player, and that's what maybe encouraged many players, even though they were beyond 30, 35, even 40, but they were encouraged by this idea that, you know what, let me try while I still can. And that was the role of Flamingo, is that it came and it structured people, put them in a team, gave them this awareness. Like you mentioned before, not everyone had the knowledge of how the football hierarchy here in Finland operates, from Kotonen, Vitonen, all the way to Veikkausliiga. Yeah, so now we're in April, and the season begun, and by coincidence again we meet Hawk. I remember that game we had more confidence, like, okay, we beat them in the Suomen Cup, we can beat them again. But we won that game 3-1. Dennis scored his first goal, his first game with the club. Rashid, his first goal with the club. I remember I scored one goal as well. At one point, remember that they were almost coming back. They scored one goal.
they were almost coming back, and I think it was it the goalkeeper error or something like this. But yeah, I mean, they were trying to come back, which every other team will try to do after, trailing behind. But I think we were able to defend well, and we came out victorious in that game.
And one of the things is also, after that, we started to get the Vitonen reality check. Next game, we meet in Japara in Kisapuisto subfield. We lost 7-0. I remember that game we were not even able to have one or two shots at target. We started the game very bad. They scored very early. That
That
game.
was let me say, a scary period, because it was like a different reality from how we started the season. When you start the season and you won with that kind of margin, you would think that, okay, now this is good. So you wouldn't expect to lose heavily in your next game. But in that game against Yapara, it's like we got a reality check that, welcome to Division 5. If you think Division 5 will be like Division 6, then
Japara has been in Division 5 for a really long time. They had also some very good players, some with even Veikkausliiga profiles and background. And for our players, that was the beginning of their football official career, basically. Yeah. And then we met Orematti Lampidot. Orematti Lampidot is a team that have been in Division 4 previous season, in 2023 season. So we knew that these guys will be good. They will have very experienced players, and they will know how to play football. And the game was pretty much similar. We lost 5-0 in that game. Goals were coming one after the other. People were laughing in the stands. And I mean, our games attract a lot of people, and many people that comes to watch our games can be, ex football, ex Flamingo players, and some they truly come to support the club, and some other comes to maybe see us lose and enjoy that.
Yeah, it's like we are providing service for different kind of people. So like you said, yeah, I mean, whichever way we look at it, it's good for the numbers for us, because you don't really know who is actually out there supporting you or who came to actually see you lose. But the bottom line is that they will be regarded as our fans,
Yeah.
because they added up to the numbers, watching and cheering for the team.
It's okay. I think in every game there will be supporters and there will be fans from the opposite side. That's bring me to a very important point. Maybe I will go out of the context of Flamingo now, but I think it's very important to talk about football. Cheering and support here is dead in Lahti. That is something I've noticed even at the Veikkausliiga level, where if we go to and watch FC Lahti games, a stadium that is relatively big, but every time you don't have even quarter of the stadium full. From where I, for example, came from, you see people crazy about football go to the stadium 3-4 hours before the game. They are like for 90 minutes cheering up their team, even if they're losing. And you will see sometimes like the flares, even though this is illegal, but it's for me, I see it as something beautiful. When you see arts landscape in the stands, and the stands and the people are singing and everything like that. When people are not really interested about some kind of sports, it's gonna take decades before you change, but the change is already here. So how do you see the change in the football industry?
Yeah, I think somehow I would say uh, the introduction of Flamingo into the uh, football environment in Lahti kind of like has triggered a change across the board. Some even though the change is still very insignificant, it's not really a big change, but you could see that other teams, I will not mention their names, but in my opinion, I see other teams trying to kind of like promote their games more on social media. I'm not just talking about higher division team. I'm not talking about Veikkausliiga teams alone. I'm talking about teams like in Division 3, something like this. So they are also, promoting stuff on their social media the way we do. They are kind of like trying to create that awareness about football. So Flamingo is here to bring a lot of changes, because even though at the lower level we are right now, we are, look at the number of fans we are attracting. One of the changes Flamingo uh, is bringing is what you are seeing now. So imagine having this kind of awareness where people want to come and watch our game. It means that they see something interesting about the way we carry ourselves, the way we play. So they are more interested to say, you know what, these guys are worth my time. Now imagine if we get high in a higher level. That means the higher we go, the more numbers we will get watching and cheering us.
If you go to Helsinki, if you go to Tampere, if you go to other cities, you will see many clubs. And plus to that, there are many foreigners. Foreigners are more structured. They have official football clubs, and then we asked ourselves, like, why can't we have something similar in Lahti? In Lahti, we always see this FC Lahti, Reipas, and FC Kususi. If you go a little bit further, you can see Nopsa and Naseva, and that's pretty much it. And for us, one of the motives that pushed us to have a club is to give the players, the foreigners, the opportunity they deserve to play football. So what are also the other motives of making Flamingo a reality?
Yeah, like you said, one of the mission is of Flamingo is to create more opportunities, and that's what we think we have done so far. I mean, there were people that maybe they forgot about football already. I would even use myself as an example. Before the idea of the Flamingo United club came about, I was, I played football for a while. I stopped playing football for maybe more than 10 years before the idea of Flamingo United came about. And when Flamingo was created, I could also see that there were some people that maybe they already gave up on playing football. But because of Flamingo, because of the opportunity to play football again, Flamingo created for them, they revived their football passion, and now they are they are hungrier than ever. They want to keep playing and even play in a higher division. Yeah,
it's good to compete. For us, competition makes us want to do things better. I'm speaking about healthy competition, not teams trying to destroy each other on the, I would say, or reach to the top on the price of this, like destroying other clubs. No, for us, we wanted to compete. Definitely, we have seen that we will be at the lowest level, and there will be some local teams here, and at some point we will reach to that level, and we have said it when Jarno from Yle, shout out to him for that interview. We thank the team that made that interview and report about us. And I think one of the areas that they liked about the team is the diversity.
Yeah.
This year we have over 25 nationality. Even in Helsinki, there are some teams that doesn't have the amount of nationalities we do have. Of course, football is about, I would say, equality and everything, but maybe diversity is not something that people think too much about. So I see that is something special about our club, and something that makes it different from other clubs in terms of diversity, because diversity is exposed only maybe at the highest level, where you see players coming from other countries and play, and you see, for example, an international coach, or the coach speaks English instead of that local language of the country.
At the lower level, you rarely see this much diversity, but this tells you, like, the game plan of Flamingo right from day one. We wanted to have a club that is built on the spirit of, when we say a football club. A football club is supposed to be diverse. If you look everywhere all over the world, in the leagues everywhere all over the world, you will see that diversity, because when you go with diversity, everyone come with something special. It's like, having somebody having a unique quality from different parts of the world, and you bring everybody together under one umbrella. You see them, you produce the best. And that's why we say, when we have a club like Flamingo United, even though we are not at that higher level yet, how we want to be, we're already doing it. How we see ourselves maybe in 10, 20, 30 years from now,
It's the
we
vision.
want to already create that foundation. So everyone in Lahti know now that we are arguably the most diverse team in Lahti.
Not only in Lahti, I would even go further, the Päijät-Häme region, and like we said it in our Instagram posts, in whole Finland. I don't want to say we are the most diverse, but at least one of the most diverse football club in whole Finland.
Finland, they might more be inclined towards physical nature of football. The technical aspect might be missing. So, but when you have a team that has diversity, you have all the aspect of football in one team, and this team can go places. So that's one of the positives. Some of the negative is that it can be challenging, because people from different backgrounds, people from different culture, you have to be careful how, because what one person could tolerate might be what some other people from different culture, what you can see as something like a joke to you might actually be something serious to somebody coming from a different culture. So these are some of the challenges that we try to see how we can have this balance where we try to, understand all the cultures, all the nationalities we have in our team, and how to, get the best out of them.
After the big loss against Union Planning, which is the third loss in a row against, for our team, 10-2, that was a very hard loss to swallow. But after that, the club did some major recruitment and some players also stepped up, and we went back to our winning ways. The first derby, I would say, the first Vitonen derby Lahti could have. I don't recall if there has been any Vitonen teams apart from FC Kuusi. I'm speaking about the Lahti only. I know maybe some people will go and say Nopsa, but we still consider or talking about Lahti only. Yes, it's still Division 5, but for us it was very special. And the players were very excited. I was very excited because I have been playing there also. So the game has been unique. We eventually won. Hopefully it will be one of many derbies and local games to come.
Yeah, like we keep repeating, we are still in the lower levels of football, but I think the signature move of Flamingo, if I will put it that way, is to give a glimpse of what to come in the future. Like we talk about diversity, now we are talking about derbies, even at Division 5, because we think that in the future, years to come, maybe from now, there will be, that is what will set the stage for the best of football in Lahti, where you have what we call the local team versus the foreign influenced team, so to say. So this could set the stage for something really interesting where people are looking forward to, it brings out the best of both teams, and it can even attract more people, create more awareness about football. So at that lower level, playing Flamingo versus Kuusi gave a glimpse of what to come in the future in terms of how the local derbies here will be like. So,
and we will reach to a point where we can have completely or 100% foreign derbies. For example, the new arrivals to Division 5. Congratulations to Lahti United, who promoted from Division 6 to Division 5. And I think these guys are going on the path that Flamingo has created. For us, we have always said that we will set the path. We like to give maybe our name like the icebreakers. When we came here, we did not have the knowledge, we did not have the experience how to do things. But now there is Lahti United, there is many teams that I'm very optimistic that they will be coming in the future, and they will be inspired by Flamingo, and why not? Let's all compete in a healthy way, bring the best of everyone, and that will all fall into the success of the local football here in Lahti, and eventually like whole Finland. It's all about providing the opportunity, knowing the path that, and having the plan to go up there. Why people hate or blame Flamingo so much for trying so hard, even though we have failed a lot, even though training we're training here 2-3 times per week, and we still lose maybe against some teams that never trains, and that maybe makes some people jump into the conclusion that what Flamingo is doing is bad. But in reality, we are not at the same level at all. When you go with players that never played 11 versus 11 football, and you go and play against some experienced teams, even though they might not be the fittest and they don't train, but teams that have been in the competition in the football scene for years. Some players have over 20 years of football 11 versus 11 career. You put them with some maybe 16, 17 years old players that never played football before. What are you expecting? Of course, it will take a lot of time before they get to the level where they can actually compete.
So going back to what I said earlier, that Lahti is not open to new stuff, and I'm not saying this because of Flamingo alone. In my experience over the last 8 years living in Lahti, I have experienced this lack of acceptance also, or this slow acceptance to new things. I have experienced it in other sports as well, and that's on the part of the city itself. I'm talking about the people here. Like generally, when they see new things, they are slow to accept it, and also there is that form of us versus them. Like, these are foreigners, these guys are foreigners. Like, okay, let them be. There's that kind of like a barrier. Like, okay, you guys, you are foreigners. Stay in your lane, do your own stuff. We will be here. We'll do our own stuff. My own opinion. I give my own opinion why, despite why are we getting? Why is Flamingo United getting all this hate? Why are we getting this kind of like hostility based on the fact that we are trying to do something? We are trying to, create something.
Flamingo wins, and they will eventually say there is a team from Lahti that won or that promoted. And one of the reasons that we were happy about was that when Yle came and covered and make a report, is that okay, well, we know it's still Vitonen, but we have promoted. That is a team that came in the first year and promoted, and nobody wrote something or even was curious about knowing what's the story of these guys. You know, of course, that will not stop us from going and competing and going up, because we know we are still at the bottom of the bottom. But a little of recognition, a little of I would say, will be very much appreciated from our part, and I'm sure it will encourage a lot of people to do even more.
The third aspect I was also trying to explain, that why we're getting all this hate, is that there is also that hatred among foreigners. I think there are some people that they don't want to, they are maybe lazy, they are not really interested in football. But when they see their fellow foreigner trying to, trying to do something meaningful in football, like we did with Flamingo United, then I would say naturally some people will just want to hate and say, we have been here before you guys. Who do you think you are? What do you think you are doing? So there is that aspect as well, why people might be hating on us for trying. But like you said, we will not be discouraged. We know that no matter what you do in this world, in this life, there will be those that like what you do, and there will be those that we hate what you do. There will be those that love you. There will be those that hate you, that don't like you. So this will not stop us, because we are convinced that we are on the right path. We are convinced that the mission of the club, which is to create more opportunities for people, we have been creating it through football, through futsal.
Let's go back to our season. You remember we started, we won that Kususi game, then we went to play Kupa back then. We're second. It was an away game all the way to Kotka, and we won that game also, which basically gave a lot of players the confidence to believe that the promotion dream is still alive. And unfortunately, we had to play a game against the Korean club here. The game was at some extent in our control, but the game started to get out of control when we received the red card. One red card after the other. We received 3 red cards in total. We lost that game 4-1, and unfortunately, we had to go to the next game without our key players, and we lost also against Nopsa.
So, but to the Korean clubby game, due to the unforeseen circumstances, or due to the circumstances of the red card coming one after the other, we lost that game, and it started to look like when our hope was was rising, when the team was getting its stability, then this events happen again, and it's like we're going down, and the hopes of maybe finishing top of the table and promoting, it's going down again. And in the NOPSA game, we were missing our key players, and as a result, we also lost that game as well. So, I mean, we as maybe managers of the club, we knew that these things are bound to happen. There will be times where you are winning, and there will be times where you will be losing the games. We were not like confused about this. We knew this reality before the season started, and we just saw it as, personally for me, I just saw it as one of those periods where, you know, these things just happen.
Is that when you choose to come and play with Flamingo, is that be ready that the treatment will be different from where, for example, if you have been in other low division teams where, you know, they don't really care too much about training, or they don't train at all. For us, there is always this strict rules that push our players to always come to training, to always play games, and hopefully they will be eventually thankful to that. So that's one of the issues newcomers to Flamingo face. So how do you see that, and what do you think made us choose to be strict?
There's this saying that says, the way you lay your bed, that's how you lie on it. So I think that saying is part of what we incline towards, that the way we want to be, we want to already start it in a low key. So even though we are still a Division 5 team, a Division 6 team, we still do things the way higher division teams do.
And that leads us to the next point, is that for us, we want to promote as quickly as possible. But if that will not happen, it's okay. We will always keep trying. But we know that the moment we reach to Division 4, Division 3, things and mentality of our players will be either the players that started with us or the players that will come. They will have the right mentality to push the club and the team to the next level, you know.
For us, we have always aimed for the top spot. Whether we get it or not, that's a different thing entirely. But when we push ourselves to go for the to achieve the number one spot, then even if we don't get the number one spot, at the end of the day, we will get something closer,
a little bit
to
better,
that. And this is what, as in the last 2 years, when we were in Division 6, we finished second. Now in Division 5, we finished third. I mean, our goal at the beginning of the season, in each of this season, when we were in Division 6 and in Division 5, has been, we want to promote. That has been the goal. And that's why that strictness you were talking about came. If we go business as usual at the lower level, maybe we'll even relegate. Maybe we will not even finish in the top 6. Maybe we will finish in the bottom of the table, because we will not take training seriously. We will have unstructured training sessions where people just think that football is about, I just hang out with my friends, I just kick the ball around, and that's why it looks like we are strict with Flamingo has these rules. But if you look at it closely, these rules are actually helping the individual players as well. Because what are the rules? Okay, come to the training. If you come to the training, that's when you can play a game. If a player comes to the training, he will develop his skills, he will develop right mentality, he will develop how to work with teammates, he will develop so many important skills, and these things will also help that player outside football.
Things will take time. We believe in the project that is laid on the ground, and we want players that believe in the Flamingo project. What do you think about the financial situation of the club?
Yeah, just like you said, we are not a rich club. In fact, Flamingo United, it's a poor club. So if you are looking to come to Flamingo, and at the moment, as a player, and you are thinking, oh, I will get paid. That's far from it. We are far from that at the moment. In fact, so far in the last 2-3 years since the club was created, the club has been living on personal sacrifices from people that love the club, as well as the membership fees.
And it's still not enough compared to what the club wants to achieve, compared to the level we find ourselves in. The more we go up, the more expensive it can be for the players to pay, for the players to pay to play, or the membership fees to pay, compared to what other maybe clubs in similar or in the same league are basically costing their players. Considering that even other clubs have many sponsors and many partners which we don't have, and hopefully this will change in the future. So that will be a message to maybe the Lahti sponsors and Lahti companies. Flamingo is looking for sponsors. We believe that we can be a good option for you. We want to build the awareness that this is a club that wants to achieve the professional level, and if there is something we can do at this low level, we will still do it. You know, if it's just gonna require effort, we will still do it, because we have the will and we have the patience and we have the resilience to achieve things. But when things are, I would say, related to money, these are things that will maybe take some time for us to achieve. So we finished the first part of the season in the 9th place, which is relegation zone. Basically, a lot of people were down about that. Many players left, unfortunately. But the second part of the season was maybe many teams and even many of our players did not believe that we can actually come back the way we came back. So we had a crazy run for 5 games without losing. So we went to Hapk, we won, then Yapara, we won, Orimatila, we won, and then we found ourselves against Kuususi, we won. And by that point, I think we found ourselves like in second position with the same points as Kupa, or maybe Kupa had more points than us. And then we were surprised that the guys forfeited their game.
Kupa, I think there were two kind of theories for me. I think when they forfeited that game, we didn't expect that they were going to forfeit the game, because I think we were on the same points with them. So
well, actually they had more points than us. After forfeiting the game, we had the same amount of points.
Okay. So they had the opportunity. If they had played that game, they could. If they won, they could have went more ahead of us on the table. So when they forfeited that game, there were two theories. The first one was that they saw the record. It's like they saw Flamingo's record in the past 2-3 games, that we have been really doing well, winning our games both home and away. We are doing pretty good. So maybe they thought to themselves, maybe we can just forfeit this game, because we might lose this game eventually. And if we lose, we can be on the same point. Yeah, they might just not be interested in going up. Like they might not be interested in, maybe they want to promote to Division 4. For them, it's more like, okay, let's just play football in the summer with the team.
The mentality of the team is different, and as long as they know what they wanted, it's completely okay. But for us, we definitely we wanted to promote it. We want to win. We want to go up, and everyone is free with what they want.
Exactly.
So next game, I think after this game, we had our hopes came back about the. I think the first position was already done with because of Nopsa's good run. They were leading the table with a very good amount of points. The promotion, or at least the qualification to the playoffs dream, came back, and we had 3 more games to go. Korean Clubby, Nopsa, and HB47, which are very I would say very difficult games. So that Korean Clubby game didn't go the way we wanted to go. We were leading, if you remember. Then we conceded, or like they equalized after maybe 3 minutes or so. We conceded a red card, another red card, then they scored another goal. And our dreams, I would say, or our chances of promotion got really small after that game. Many players, again, it's this emotional roller coaster, going up and down. It has been definitely a crazy season we had, and we wanted maybe to have an opportunity to slip for a draw, maybe for a loss against Nopsa, because we know that the game against Nopsa will be a little bit difficult, but we definitely were not even considering the idea of maybe losing against Korean Clubby, you know. So the next game of Nopsa, crazy game. It's finished 4-4. How did you see that game, and did you maybe anticipated that result?
Yeah, we knew it was going to be a tough game, especially when we were playing against the leader of the table.
Considering Nopsa back then, they really didn't anything to worry about, but they were AKA playing for the honor, so it was more than the honor for me.
I think for them, they were playing. They already, the promotion for them is already confirmed, but they were, like you said, playing for their dignity, their honor. Like I think they were playing to prove that, okay, we are not just on at the top of the table as Flip. Like they wanted to prove.
And you don't want to blame someone that wants to win every game.
Yeah.
I think what made us, I would say, a little bit confused is the level of physicalities to play. There are some things where it can be completely avoided. Red cards that were completely you can avoid that. But unfortunately, some of the players, maybe they have other agendas in this game, and unnecessarily they were trying to hurt our players. The scenario of this game was crazy, because in the first 2 minutes, they already scored a goal. Some of our players panicked a little bit, but we believe that, this is our last chance of promotion. We gotta do something about that,
Yeah.
Amir scored, was it Amir? Yeah, I think Rashid brought a penalty, and Haidar scored that goal. We came back, we were on fire, like we kept pushing. We scored the second. We finished the first half, 2-1. We were like, we knew that the game is not over here. We know there is still a lot to come. In the second part in the second half, they came back, and they came back strong. They have a very good striker, the Costa. He scored, I think, 3 goals in less than 8 minutes, and just like that, from 2-1 we were losing 4-2. So we were in a moment of, I would say, we did not believe what happened. Nobody, maybe even Nopsa players didn't believe what had happened.
Yeah, I think there was, like you said, we didn't understand. There was one red card we got, which it was completely, one red card Nopsa player got, which was completely avoidable. It was just uncalled for. So when
when a player just jumped and pushed himself over
he got
Sadi.
Sadi, as a result of that tackle, which led to the Nopsa red card. Sadi couldn't continue the game. Every team has their key players, so we from then onwards we missed him in that game, and to an extent it affected us in that game, and some quick goals came in from Nopsa, and we were able to come back in that game and equalize that game at least.
The last 5 minutes has been crazy because we have been very close to score the winning goal, but unfortunately it was not meant to be. The game finished 4-4. Like on paper, all our hopes of finishing second basically are over. Some players were devastated, and for us, we were trying to encourage them. That's not the end. It's okay. We can try next time, and everything. This scenarios happen in football. That's football. You can't win every time, and you cannot also lose every time. So on Monday, we were surprised that Kupa, in the last game, they don't want to qualify to the playoffs. And for us, it's like returning someone from the dead. That's why we make that little videos of Game of Thrones when Jon Snow came back from the dead, because that's literally how we felt. We came back from the dead, and from this, we would like to thank Kupa for this, because for them, they already know that they don't want to go and play the playoffs. Because if it was another team that may be wishing something bad, they would have, let's just go play the playoffs, not let Flamingo play, because we know how bad Flamingo wants to go up. Just because we want to take this satisfaction from them, we're just gonna go and play and don't care about the playoffs, because we know we're not gonna go up or even forfeit the playoffs themselves. So for them, they did not do that. I would say, we thank them for their sportsmanship, and we return to that point where our players were very happy about this decision, but it's still not over. We had the HP47 game still in Heinola, a very decent team. Also, that game didn't mean anything to them, but of course they want to win us, and we completely understand. You play against Flamingo United, you want to win, and we did not start very well. First minute, we conceded the first goal. We were pushing, but they were playing in the back. And we finished the first half 1-0. We came back in the second half. They scored another goal. So what were your feelings and the team feeling by that time? 2-0, HP47, when you were that close to where you just needed a draw to go to the playoffs, but you're losing 2-0 already.
I mean, I think it felt like the Nopsa game all over again, where we just needed to maybe win or draw so that we can advance to the next stage. But here we are.
The same scenario happened.
Same scenario, losing already 2-0. I think everybody understood what is to be done, and that we just need to get the draw out of this game. I think that's how everyone played. We kept on pushing and giving all the effort.
The way we returned was something crazy, where Amir scored that goal, beautiful goal after a beautiful build-up. Then he scored again with a beautiful volley, and or actually the second goal was Ahmed's goal. He scored the second goal, and then Amir scored 3. So like the way we did that shift or that remontada was something out of this world. We were like very emotional, and I remember Zizou from HP47, they scored the 3rd. So now the panic, the fear start to come back again and kick in. Now at this point, like we were very emotional in that game. We were just trying to maybe score another goal, or at least we don't concede any goal. So by the whistle, it's like finally we are at the playoffs. I mean, for me, by that time, I was very happy, because what we have been through this season, this scenario, like we finished 9 in the table by the first part of the season, and you find yourself going to the playoffs, qualifying to the playoffs. We did not finish second, but I'm sure that we deserve that qualification, to the playoffs, considering the amount of work that we have been putting. And how are the preparation for the playoffs, and how did we do?
Yeah, I think it's our normal preparation where we train twice per week, and but maybe because the weather started getting a little
Colder.
bit chilly,
Mm-hmm.
we were not getting the numbers at the training, but we still got some decent amount of players coming to the training. So we trained normally because the way the games came, there was no break, so we had to play.
Each game per week, one
Yeah,
game per week. Yeah.
yeah. So we had to just. It's like okay, we go to the training and we know we have a game coming up in 2 days or in 3 days. So yeah, the preparation for the playoffs were not that special, to like different from how we have been training all season. So, but we were just looking for. We were grateful that we got the opportunity to be in the playoffs, and we are like looking forward to each game in the playoffs.
Playoffs, the way we've seen it is that it's a nice opportunity to meet other teams from other region,
Yeah,
because, or not other regions, but other groups. We all play in the southern region, but some groups have maybe higher level. Some teams from some groups have higher level from, for example, other groups in Division 5. So we met these hoops, a very decent team. They played many players from their first team, which currently played in Kolmonen. A very young team, very dynamic, knows how to move the ball. I would say very academic football. They scored first. We came back, and we were leading 2-1. In the second half, we came and scored another goal. So 3-1. The game was 3-1. So at that point we thought maybe the game is already done. Let's relax and everything. But the hoops kept coming. They scored until basically they scored 3 goals in 7 minutes, which made our players shocked. Basically, we tried to came back, but unfortunately that did not happen. The second game against Sumo, completely different scenario. Both teams were pushing. The level was pretty much similar. There was a lot of opportunities, but no team have scored any goals. So we had to play the penalties. So penalties that brought us back to maybe the half game here.
yeah. Like you said, it gave us that feeling of the Kutonen playoffs against App. Yeah, I mean, when it gets to the penalty, you just know that now it's anybody's game. So we were just hoping for the best. So at the end of the day, we lost the penalty.
The final one was 4-1. So we missed 2, and for them they scored all of them. So yeah, congratulations to Sumo. And we found ourselves in the last playoff game, where unfortunately in that game we suffered from the availability of players. The majority of the first team players were not available, so we had to play with the second team. They had to sacrifice because for them their season is already over. By the end of September they were already over. But they came and stepped up and gave their best. Unfortunately, the team, or the result, was not the way we expected it, but we are very proud that we at least made it to the playoffs. And at this level, at this point, we are gonna play Vitonen next year, and we hope we will push more than we did this season, and hopefully we get that promotion. So what are your maybe hopes for the next season?
Whichever is the case, if we don't get the promotion, if we will be playing in Division 5 still, we will be ready. For us, it's been like the way we want to go into the next season. We already have mapped it out already. We've planned our off season and pre-season preparations. They are currently being planned right now, and I think the plans are going well. So we just want to give our best. whichever level we find ourselves, we want to give our best. We want to bring out the best in the players. We want to bring out the best of our fans. We want to raise the standard of football in the whole of Lahti, and by extension in Finland in general. So this is what we will keep doing, and whichever level we find ourselves, it doesn't really matter. We will give our best.
Maybe a little glimpse before we close this one off, the future goals of the club. So what are your maybe hopes about the project of the Flamingo Juniors?
Yeah, I think I mean, they say there's this saying that says the young ones are the leaders of tomorrow. So you have to prepare for tomorrow always. So I'm hopeful that uh, when, with the Flamingo Junior project, we can we can create that continuity for that time where older players are being replaced by the junior ones, and so that the Flamingo dream keeps going on like forever. So I'm hopeful about it that all things being equal, everything will go as planned.
Yeah. Imagine if all this we were not recording.